spending the next couple of weeks on the Galapagos Islands. Today I'm on the Santa Cruz Island and I'm shooting some birds, taking pictures of birds here. And I posted a few of the results I got from a couple days ago on my Facebook page, and I got a ton of questions. And so I want to explain how I got the results that I got. Now you can see here that the birds that I shot previously all they're really frozen. And to achieve that, what you need is a really fast shutter speed, but you also need to make sure that those birds are in focus. And so I want to talk to you about those two things, freezing motion and focusing. Now I want to start by talking about the lens that I'm using. This is a 70 to 200 millimeter f2.8L lens. It's a really high-end lens, and the difference between a lens that has a fixed aperture of 2.8 and a variable aperture that changes when you zoom in and zoom out is the focusing speed. This will focus anywhere from 1.5 to 2 times as fast as a lower end lens. And so I've got a lot of questions saying, hey, this is a very, very expensive lens. Can I get the same results with a less expensive lens? You can get the same results, but it's going to be much more difficult for you to focus as quickly as this lens does. So don't beat me up about having such an expensive lens. It really does make a difference, but you can get results that are similar using a less expensive lens, maybe a 70 to 300 millimeter lens. All right, so that's the lens that I'm using. The camera here, this is a 5D Mark III, and what I've done here is I have actually put this on aperture priority mode. Now that sounds totally counterintuitive because you're thinking, well, you want a really super fast shutter speed, why aperture priority mode? Well, I've put my aperture at 2.8, so my aperture is as wide as it's going to go, and what that's going to do is force my shutter to be extremely fast. And so with the really bright sunlight right here, that's going to keep my shutter really, really fast, so I don't really have to worry about it. And because I have a 2.8 aperture, that means that I'm going to have really shallow depth of field, and that's going to isolate the bird as I'm shooting. Now the other thing I want to do here is set my focus to AI servo on other cameras. It's called continuous focus mode. And what that does, instead of when I push my shutter release button, instead of locking on a subject and holding that, it is always focusing. So as those birds are moving, I'm going to be tracking them, and the focus is going to be tracking them as well. And then the last thing that I've done here is I put my camera's drive mode into high speed continuous. So when I push the shutter release, you can hear it.